Okay, now this one is an optional knot, or an optional weave, and this one is the Egyptian knot. It's very similar to the sumac, but I'm going to show you the Egyptian. So you go under 2, bring your yarn up and around. Remember, you're still leaving your end, and now you go around. So you went under 2, you back up, go around, and you go under 2 again. This is going to take a little bit to figure out. This is kind of a different one. I keep catching that corner. So it's going to wrap around 1. I go under 2, and then I go underneath that one. So it's like I go under 2 and I backtrack 1. Under 2, backtrack 1. And I should have pulled that a little bit tighter. Okay, so I went under 2, backtrack 1, under 2. I'm going to do this kind of at an angle so you can see a little bit more. So again, I went under 2 and I backtrack 1, so I'm trapping the 1. I'm going to come in a little bit closer so you can see maybe a little bit more. Okay, so I'm starting to lose my yarn there. Okay, so again, I went under 2, I backtrack 1, go under 2. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 step forward, 1 step back. Again, I go back under that one, under 2. And so they make little loopies, and they end up giving you quite a bit of texture. So if you want a little bit of dimension, a little bit of texture, this is a good one. And I've been pulling them kind of loose, just so you can see a little bit better. So again, half step back. And you want to be consistent on how tight you pull those. So under 2, back 1. And then you would do this the same, going backward. Except you just want to make sure that you're on just paying attention to where you're going there. And you could do a row of that, and then you could do a row of tabby if you wanted to, and that might make it have a little bit more strength to it. So again, you may want to try that. Now you can go backward, do the same thing. So it's back over 2, and you just kind of work your way back doing the same thing. But I think it's easiest if from there, so I need to go back one. Oops, I missed one. I went back too far. Alright, so again, back onto that one. There we go. Because you got to trap each warp thread, you got to trap in there. And then if you go back to a tabby row or 2, that might help you trap that in there a little bit, kind of like the Rhea knot. So that gives you a little loopies. So I could do another row of tabby, and then I could do that again. Or maybe you want to do the Egyptian knot as maybe that's what you want to do. If you do the inserted weave, maybe you want to do the little Egyptian knot in there. If you wanted to do the sumac, it's just the reverse of what I did here. Instead of going under 2 over 1, you go over 2, so over 2, but then you go back 1. Okay, so that'll actually give me the reverse. So I go over 2, so over, back. Again, still the same thing, except it's going to have the kind of the reverse effect. But you're always going over 2, wrap around 1. Over 2, back 1. So that's the sumac. So it's the same thing, it's just reverse. Over 2, back 1. And again, you can do the tabby in between there if you want to, but that'll give you kind of a, oops, I wasn't showing you that really, sorry. So over 2, back 1. Didn't realize I was off camera. Didn't realize I unthreaded my needle. Again, both the sumac and the Egyptian knot are optional. So again, for the sumac, you go over 2, around 1. Over 2, back 1. Now there are other knots in the book. There are other knots online. There are other weaves, other connectors. So there are others beyond just the required ones or the ones in this packet. You're welcome to try some of the other ones. You don't have to. You only have to do the 7 that are on the packet, those first 7 that are listed. But you do have to completely fill. You do have to completely fill your piece. All the stuff in between, all that extra space. Zoom out there. All the extra space you need to fill. Okay, so I could do more of these rows if I wanted to. And I'm gonna just do a tabby in between to trap it and make it a little bit more secure. And I'm gonna probably run out of yarn on this. Now you can do, again, whichever kind of weave you want to do in there. Again, making sure that you're nice and straight, top to bottom, that you're not bringing it in hourglass, and boom. Okay?